Good morning, good morning, good morning again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. Happy Halloween to all. I know it'll be late once you see this, but still, happy Halloween. We're going in another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and yes, we are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the troubled teen industry, you are going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. In particular, I want you to take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. They interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read this article so much that they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. So please read that article and share it on all your social media. You're also going to see NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC actually decides to see through with their threat. First trigger warning. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, use the headphones. Second trigger warning. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised, all right? Okay, on to the next section. The second sentence of Section 396, which authorizes the Secretary to establish and enforce restrictions on the sale or distribution of a device that are promulgated through regulations, does not reuse the FDA. How in the name of God can you even say that? So you are basically stating that the FDA, because the JRC are not marketing this on the wide world, in spite of your earlier arguments in which you were trying to allude that they do, that because of that, that means that the FDA can't ban that device because it's not being used on the wider market, in spite of the argument that you made previously, your bad faith argument, where you try to say that the SIBIS device and the GED device are the same. So now you're walking that back and you're trying to say, because it's not legally out there on the market, then the FDA can't ban it. Hey, DC Circuit Court, choose a struggle. Just saying. Although one could colloquially refer to a ban as a restriction, there is a significant space between the definition of the two terms. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, what you're trying to say is that the FDA does not have the authority to ban devices. I ask you again, then why does it exist? Because the FDA has been banning harmful devices, at least on the record, from back in the 70s. So, if they don't have the authority to ban items, then all the items that have been banned since that time, uh, because of this decision, should become back and available on the market, right? If I rolled my eyes any harder, I'd see the back of my skull. A restriction is a limitation or qualification, while a ban is a legal or otherwise official prohibition. We know what a ban is, you ingrates. Are you really trying to sit here and say, but, making these nonsensical arguments because the FDA was clear. They're not trying to regulate shit. They're trying to ban a device known to cause second to third degree burns and land students in the ER. I mean, I think they made that incredibly clear. Blacklaw's dictionary. More important, however, is the fact that the Act structurally segregates bans and restrictions. As usual, we presume that the same words used in the same Act of Congress have the same meaning. You I got nothing. You literally trying to say that a restriction and a ban is the same thing and it's being used synonymously by the FDA here? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that is not what the FDA decision says. I've read that decision, you see. We've gone over that decision on this channel. Nowhere, Amber Heard Congress, at any point in time, has the FDA ever used ban and restrict synonymously? They were quite clear that what they were going for was not a restriction, but a full ban. As usual, we presume blah, 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 blah. The same words used in the Act of Congress have the same meaning. Jesus. Congress, in a subsection of titled Restricted Devices, authorized the FDA to require that a device be restricted to sale, distribution, or use only upon written or oral authorization of a practitioner licensed by law to administer or use such a device, or upon such other conditions as the Secretary may prescribe in such regulation. Again, here we go. They're not trying to regulate the use of the device, they're trying to ban it outright. Okay, we're going to make this video short and sweet, but to explain it to the DC Circuit Court like they're five, the whole FDA hearings had nothing to do with trying to restrict the device to only particular uses. That is a bad faith argument, okay? It is very clear when you read the FDA decision from 2020 what the purpose was: to ban the device outright in all its forms, regardless of who's prescribing it. And let me be more frank for you. When you try to sit there, but only with the authorization with a doctor can the device be used. The same doctors that have their paychecks paid by the Judge Rotenberg Center are the individuals who are signing off on this torture. Do you hear me? The same doctors who are prescribing that this device be used are the doctors whose paychecks come from the Judge Rotenberg Center. There is no doctor outside the JRC that is prescribing that device be used in any way, shape, form, or capacity. Okay? We're going to close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time.